Hello everyone, my name is Maxine. Welcome to my yoga YouTube channel and thank you so much for joining me. Hope you enjoy. I've got my fleecy on today because it's getting rather chilly over here in the northeast of England. At autumn time it is now, but this time next week I'll not be needing anything like this because I'm going to be in Sydney, Australia, visiting my lovely daughter Naomi. So I'm so excited about that, I can't wait. So it might be a little over a week's time before I do my next video, which will be hopefully once I get my bearings, find my feet, on a beach somewhere exotic and nice and hot. So watch this space, can't wait. So let's begin today. Let's stand, and I like to begin on foot, standing nice and tall with either the feet together or hip width apart. Slightly turned in over and shoulders softly roll back and down. So standing nice and tall as if there was a thread pulling from the top of our head up to the sky. Taking a nice deep inhale, raising the arms, bringing the palms together, and exhale into prayer at the heart center. Just taking a moment with some nice deep conscious breaths, maybe a sigh out to release any stress and tension you may be holding on to, and then finding a natural rhythm in and out through the nose, just to ground and center ourselves, feeling the feet planted, palms pressed together, just arriving into the here and now, connecting the mind with the body in the present moment, tuning into our inner essence of peace and calm. Maybe you'd like to set an intention, whatever that might be you'd like to get out of the class today, or some goal or achievement you'd like to set for the future, but most importantly just to follow the breath throughout. And let's begin interlocking the fingers. Take the arms straight, pushing the palms towards the ground, and inhale up to the sky. Really reach and lengthen through the side body as tall as you can, and then exhale over to one side, reaching over, push the hips one way and stretch over as far as you can to deepen the stretch, and inhale back to center. And exhale over to the opposite side. Reach and reach over. Inhale back to center, and let's sweep the arms down onto hands onto our hips and step it out and circle the hips round in one direction. Maybe closing the eyes, just feeling the way into the body, just nicely warming up the hips. Follow the breath, and then as the bum comes to the back, bend into the knee and step the feet together, and then step it out to the opposite side and circle in the opposite direction. So pushing out to the sides, out to the back, to the front. Again, closing the eyes. And then back, bend the knees, step it back together, and let us release the arms down by our sides, raise them up to the sky, palms together, take a slight back bend, and then let's soften the knees, pray the hands, and fold it down. So when knees are bent, we're just allowing the chest to fold towards the thighs. And if it feels a little tight to begin with, just be patient, take a little moment, put little pulses maybe, relaxing the head, neck and shoulders, letting the weight of the body pull you down. Nice deep breaths, and then maybe grab onto the elbows, and you may notice the difference of the pull, deepening the stretch a little further. Nicely stretching out the lower back. Maybe a little sway from side to side. And then let's bring the palms to the ground, plant them, fingers spread wide, and then stepping it back and bringing it down onto our hands and knees into tabletop. Taking some cat-cows, inhale, chin up, tailbone up, stay still or move it around, just closing your eyes, maybe swaying the hips from side to side, bringing the shoulders into the center. And then let's round the spine off, push the ground away, tuck the chin under and the tailbone under. Maybe rock it back and forth or circle the hips, round and round, and then the other way. So just taking some breaths in and out as we do so. And then maybe some moving cat-cows back and forth. Inhale as we bring the chin and tailbone up. Exhale as we round it down and lower down to the heels. Forward. And back. And then when you are as close to the heels as you can, just gently rock from side to side. And it helps warm the joints up, move the synovial fluid around. Stretching the arms out into one variation of child pose. So active arms are straight. Pressing either the fingertips or the palms into the mat. Resting the forehead, melting the heart. Passive arms, the forearms are allowed to just fall to the ground or pray behind the head. And always remember, anytime you need to take a break, always feel free to come down into a child pose of your choice. Modify the poses in any which way suit you, and just do whatever feels good for you, because it's your practice, so whatever's right for you. And always remember, don't feel guilty to stop and take a pose or a child pose or just a moment of stillness, because the moments of stillness are just as important, if not more important, than the poses themselves. So even if you just manage a little bit and need to break, that is perfectly fine. So plant the palms, take the gaze forward, let us bring it up to the shoulders over the wrists. Check the elbows are rotated insides forward, so as we lower down, the elbows are tucked into the ribs, and then let's push through the palms, pull the shoulders back, baby cobra, as low as you like, and then back as we exhale to the heels. Inhale forward over the wrists, exhale down. Inhale up, maybe a little higher in your cobra, and exhale back. So just take a couple of more rounds of that, just to help warm up the spine and also warm up the hips at the same time. Just connecting the breath with the movement of the body. Inhale forward, exhale down, inhale up, exhale back. And just hold it in child pose, several breaths. And let's take the gaze forward, bring the palms in a little, knees bring them in so that they're directly underneath the hips, hands underneath the shoulders, into tabletop once again. And let's take the right leg out straight in line with the body. So the hips are square to the ground, so it's important that you've got the hands positioned underneath the shoulders and the knee underneath the hip, so that you've got the strength and the stability. If you've got them on here and one there, you're gonna have no stability. So that's why it's important. And also with the fingers spread wide, it helps also with the balance. You can also help grip the ground. So just breathe. You can close your eyes if you can, or just focus on a spot with the gaze off the tip of the nose. Point the foot. So we're tensing right through. Bum, cheek, thigh, calf. Pointing the foot. Flex, pushing into the heel. And point again. And then we're going to take an inhale. And then exhale, rounding the spine, push the ground away, bring the knee to the nose. And inhale back. Exhale together. Inhale back. Exhale together. And then we're going to take it out to the side. Inhale out, right, round and back. Exhale together. Inhale out and back. Exhale together. Inhale out and back. Exhale together. Inhale back and out. Exhale together. Inhale back and out. Exhale together. Inhale back and out. This time, I'm going to just maybe lifting them onto your hands there, just to bring this foot around. Maybe it's just in front of the hand, and then we're going to lean forward into the hip if you're not reaching to the ground, blocks, or you can rest onto your thigh. So either way, and just hold for several breaths, just trying to keep the hip in alignment with the knee. So we don't want to be over here or over there. So trying always to keep a nice alignment. And then sitting it back. So bringing the bum back as far as so you flex the foot there. And the knee is just sort of underneath the hip. Maybe the hip slightly back, mine is here. So around about there. We don't want to be too far back with the knee and forward with the hip. It's more either on top of or just a little further, knee slightly in front, the bum slightly back, and lengthen and fold it down. So you may be here, soften the knee if you need to, and eventually, once you've stretched those hamstrings out with practice, nice deep breaths, deep stretch. We can lower down and down that little bit further. And then let's bring it up, plant the palms, and let's sweep this leg back into tabletop. So we need to reposition the hands and the knees just to check that they're directly underneath the hips and the shoulders. So your knees, you might find, are a little closer in than where the hands are, depending on the shape of our bodies, because we're all different. And let's take our left leg straight out in line with the body. So the hips are staying square to the mat, to the ground. And stretching it out, squeezing the bum, cheek, thigh, calf, pointing the toes. Again, close your eyes and just take the gaze off the tip of the nose. Point the foot, flex the foot, pushing into the heel. Point the foot. And then we'll take a nice deep inhale. Exhale, knee towards the nose, so push the ground away. Curl the chin and the tailbone under. Inhale out. Exhale together. Push the ground away. Inhale out. Exhale together. This time, inhale, knee out to the side and back. Exhale together. Push the ground away. Bring that knee to nose. Inhale out, circling the hip and exhale together. One more time, inhale out and round, exhale together. This time, inhale back, out, and exhale, knee to nose. Inhale back, out, exhale to nose. Last one, inhale, out, and maybe lift up off your hand. Place the foot here, maybe grab the ankle, help it to bring it forward. So positioning the foot just maybe in front of the hands or wherever you can reach it to. It might be in line with, it might be behind. And then pushing into the hip. So again, don't come off to one side. Try and keep the hip in alignment with your knee. And so if you're not reaching the ground, resting on the thigh. Several breaths wherever you are. So just taking a moment of stillness to relax. And then inhale, exhale, sit it back. So again, you might not be reaching the ground using blocks, or so the knee again is pretty much underneath the hip, maybe slightly back off, and then just walking it down, stretching it out. Again, keep that knee in alignment with the hip. Don't wiggle off to one side. Nice deep stretch, deep breath. And then let's bring it back up, plant the palms and bring that leg back round into tabletop. Maybe take some more cat-cows here just to massage off the spine. Closing your eyes, feeling your way into the body. Just doing whatever feels good for you. And then we're going to take it up now. So inhale, chin up, tailbone up. Tuck the toes under and lift the hips. Sink it back. So really want to sink down, allowing the heart to melt to the ground without collapsing it. So push the ground away through the palms. Palms planted, fingers spread wide. And just relax the head down. Hips towards the sky, so we're lining the arms with the back, so a nice triangular shape. You don't want to be here. So if you are here, you want to push the ground, sink it back. Bend the knees if you need to. Make sure the feet are about hip width apart, and you can play around with the distance if you feel your feet are too close or too far away. Sometimes people have their feet too far away, bring them in a little bit. So just play around, feel what's right for you. So just want to aim for a nice triangle. Pedal the feet maybe, gently sway the hips. Nice deep breaths, whatever you're doing. Stop and take a tabletop in between and bring it back up if you feel you need a little break. And then gaze forward. You can just walk or you could bunny hop the feet towards the hands. And then bring it back to the front, fold it in here, bend the knees once again, bring the chest towards the thighs. You could grab the big toes, pull it in here, or grab the ankles, or hug in from behind the calves. Nice deep breath, deep stretch. So bent knees, chest to thighs, let the head fall towards the shins. Deep breath, deep stretch, and let's roll up gently one vertebra at a time, and roll the shoulders back and down by the sides, and a nice deep inhale up to the sky. Palms together, slight back bend, and pray. Closing the eyes, checking out the posture, feet slightly turned in over, tuning into the breath. Just noticing how you feel. Maybe if the breath is going a little quicker, just taking a moment to slow it down. You might feel the heartbeat going a little quicker. Just noticing any sensations in the body. Just taking a moment in the stillness to be fully present. You're not thinking about anything else, but just being here and now. Preparing for the next little sequence. So making sure just to check out our posture, feet slightly turned in over, pelvis tucked under, shoulders softly rolled back and down. Arms down in mountain pose. Inhale up to the sky, palms together, slight back bend, prayer, soften the knees, hinge and fold. Inhale, halfway flat back, hands on the shins or the thighs, and bend the knees, plant the palms, step it back in, and the back knee, right knee down on the ground, left knee above the ankle. Lengthen through the spine, reach towards the ground if you can. If not, you could, if you don't have blocks, you can rest on your thigh. Let's just hold for several breaths here. Nice little hip opener as we push down into the front hip. Inhale up to the sky. And then exhale, turn the arms the same way as the legs. And at this point, we're going to either reach behind the back and over, and make sure your knees are wide enough, each knee in alignment with the hips, because if you've got your knees on one track, you'll feel a bit wobbly, you'll feel like you're on a tightrope. So you need to make sure the knees are hip width apart. So reaching strong arms behind the back or down the leg to wherever you can reach to. Several breaths. And then let's cartwheel the arms, one arm inside of the front foot, one hand, sorry. Several breaths here. And then we're going to turn, stay here, turn the back foot from, so you might not be reaching to the ground completely, you could be resting here or on a block. Back foot from 6 o'clock to turn it to 9 o'clock. Then we're going to lift up, hip above the knee here, and let's come onto the ball of the back foot. And as we reach behind, either onto the hip, onto the back, or if you can, reach down onto the heel and look either behind or open the heart to the sky. And then sweep it back around, frame the foot, take the back foot back to 6 o'clock. And then we're going to sit back. So first of all, inhale and sit back and lengthen through the spine. Again, the knees pretty much underneath the hip, maybe slightly back of the hip, slightly back of the knee. Deep breaths, deep stretch, a little closer and a little closer. Bring it as close in as you can. And then gaze forward, weight down. Bring the arms back up to the sky. Taking a nice deep inhale. And this time exhale, turning the arms the opposite way to the legs. Strong arms. Several breaths. And then I'm going to inhale, exhale, either reach behind the back or down the leg to wherever you can reach to. Several breaths. And then let's pray the hands. Hook the elbow over the opposite knee. Now if you struggle with the twist, which I am a little here, I tend to push here, twist and lengthen and hook the elbow over. Push the palms together towards the heart center. Taking several breaths. And then lift it up if you can. And then release both hands to the sky. So if you are still on the knee, lift it up here into a lunge. Just finding your balance. If you're struggling, you could always just rest your hand on the thigh. And then turn it into warrior two. Nice strong arms. Flip the front palm. Reach up and behind. A little further down. And a little further down. Inhale back to center. Exhale, fold into the thigh. Reaching over. Hold it here or bring it down to the ground. Breathing all the way. So we're lining the arm with the body. And then let's bring both hands to the ground, flip onto the back foot in alignment with the hip. This hand out underneath your shoulder, and let's reach to the sky. And then bend the knee. As we do so, just take the hand on the inside of the thigh and just rock it out. And then reach to the sky, bend the back knee, grab for the foot and pull it into the bum cheek. Maybe take it down under the forearm. So just resting it there, breathing, and then bring it up and sending it back. Lengthen through the spine. Inhale, exhale, hinge and fold. Bringing it in a little bit closer, lengthening it a little bit closer. And then gaze forward, frame the foot, lift it up, rock it into pyramid, back foot 45 degrees, and front foot pointing forward, feet on separate tracks, and lengthen and hinge and fold. So grabbing onto maybe the ankle or the calf and pulling it in as tight as you can. A little closer. And then gaze forward, stepping it together, sit it down here into chair pose. Several breaths. Pelvis tucked under. And then let's bring it up with the left knee into the chest. Bring the palms together. Just holding it for a moment. So from here, going to take hold of the big toe, or you could hold the foot or the ankle even, hand be on the hip or out to the side, and lifting it up and out. Alternatively, just take another balancing pose, maybe a tree pose. And then bring it back in. And then bringing the leg in as close to as you can. Ooh, that's a difficult one. Well done. And shake it out. So remember, wherever you are, all steps and stages, so wherever you are at is perfectly fine. Whew. And then preparing for the next little sequence. Preparing for the other side. Standing, checking out our posture. Tuning into the breath. Just taking a moment of stillness. Arms down by our sides. Inhale to the sky. Palms together, slight back bend. Press, soften the knees, hinge and fold. Inhale, halfway flat back. Bend in the knees, hands down, step the left foot back. Drop the left knee, right knee above the ankle, lengthen through the spine. Reaching towards the ground. Blocks, or you could rest on the thigh. Remember, each foot in alignment with the hip, so separated. Inhale up to the sky. Exhale, turn the same way as the legs. And either reach behind the back or down the leg to wherever you can reach to. You can open the heart to the sky. And then cartwheel the hands. So we have the same hand as the foot on the inside. If you're not reaching there, just reach to wherever you can. Bring the arm over. In alignment with the body. Several breaths. And then I'm going to turn the back foot from 6 o'clock to 3 o'clock. Bring it up. And then maybe come onto the ball of the foot to make the heel more accessible. Several breaths, strong arms. And then we're going to reach behind for the foot if you can, or just take the hand on the back. Either look behind, open the heart to the sky. Sweep it around, framing the foot. Taking a nice deep inhale as we lunge forward. Exhale, back. A little closer. And a little closer. And then bring it up. Inhale back to the sky. Exhale, turning the arms the opposite way to the legs. Couple of breaths here, strong arms. And then reaching behind the back or down the leg. And releasing prayer. Hooking the elbow across again. If you need to, help it over. Push the palms towards the heart. Top shoulder back. And then come up onto the ball of the back foot. Or stay down on the knee. Release the hands to the sky. Finding a nice lunge. Bring it up off the knee if you're still on the knee. Feet on separate tracks. And let's turn to warrior 2. Repositioning the feet where need be. Front knee above the ankle. Now we're on the same track with the feet. Heel to heel, heel to arch. Back foot parallel with the back of the mat. Strong arms and pelvis tucked under. Flip the front palm and reverse, and down, and down, fraction further, back to centre. Deep inhale, exhale, fold into the front thigh, bringing the arm over by the ear, lining the arm with the body. Stay here or bring the hand to the ground. If you can, look at the fingertips. Conscious breath. Well done. And bring both hands to the ground. Flip onto the back foot. So we're lining that foot with the hip. And then we're going to reach to the sky in the centre. Nice deep breaths as I stretch it out. And then lower the knee. Take the hand on the inside of the thigh above the knee and just gently push it out. Relax and breathe. Reach back to the sky, bend the back knee and grab the foot. If you've got the foot, pull it into the bum cheek, or just reach the hand behind the back to the opposite thigh. And then you can always, if your heart's open enough, take it down onto the forearm. Then release, work your way back up, lining the leg, the foot, the knee and the hip, lengthening through the spine. Inhale, exhale, fold it in. As deep and as close as you can. A little closer. And then gaze forward. Weight down, frame the foot, lift it up, rock it into pyramid, back for 45 degrees. Lengthen, hinge and fold, pulling it in as close as you can. Nice deep breaths, deep, deep stretch. And then step it together, bending the knees, sit it down into chair. Pelvis tucked under. And I'm going to bring it up, right knee into the chest. Pray the hands. If you focus on a spot, really slow the breath down. So you could stay here, or as I said, you could take it into a tree pose of your choice. So the foot would be on the ankle, calf, or the thigh, inner thigh. Or you could grab the big toe or the foot, or just take your hand on your ankle and take the knee out wide. Try straighten it out. You don't have to straighten the leg completely. Hand on hip or out straight. And then next step, taking it out. And then bringing it back in. Taking hold of wherever you can get hold of. And so lift the leg. Round down towards the shin. Ooh, it's a pretty difficult one. And then just nice deep breath, shake it out. Just do whatever feels good for you. And then bring the palms up to the sky and bring it back to stillness with the breath. So remember, at any point, just do what you want to, leave out what you rather not do, and maybe stop at any time and call it a day. Take yourself down into a shavasana at any point you choose. So either do that or we'll continue with a little further sequencing. So tuning into the breath, taking the arms down by our side, inhale to the sky, palms together, and slight back bend, hinge and fold. Inhale, halfway flat back. Bend the knees, hands down. You can step it back into plank, then lower into half plank, or jump back straight into chaturanga and then bring it into up dog, back to down dog. High hips, nice strong triangle. Just take a nice deep breath in and out. Right leg straight up in line with the body here. Point the foot, flex the foot, point, bend the knee, look underneath the right armpit, push the ground away, pull the hip back. Notice the extra stretch down the side. Circle the foot one way and the other. Back again. Point the foot, straighten the leg, lift the leg, square the hips. Come out the ball of the left foot, right knee through the nose, hips high, weight forward, step it through, grab the ankle, help it through if you need to. Feet on separate tracks, find your balance in a lunge. Hold it here, just to make sure you've got everything positioned right. Knee over above the ankle, feet both in alignment with the hips. Take an inhale, exhale, inhale lower, exhale up, inhale, straighten the legs, push back into the heel, exhale, lunge, inhale, lower, open the heart, exhale up, inhale, and exhale. So in your own time, don't worry if you come out of rhythm with the breath. Just focus on the breath wherever you are. And so do as many as you can, or just stop when you need to. And let's make this the last one. Inhale, open. Exhale, sweep it down. Sit it back, straighten the front leg. Flex the foot, lengthen. Inhale, exhale, fold it in. A little closer. And a little closer. And then we're going to bring it up. Take a nice deep inhale. And then sweep the arms down, framing the foot. I'm going to take it slowly back into a splits to whatever degree you can. So keep maybe lengthening, stretching and folding and just working it back and forth to deepen the stretch in your leg, maybe a little bit at a time, taking it back and then lengthening again until eventually you can take the front foot forward and the back foot back into full splits. And maybe just take some breaths here. Or just keep rocking it back and forth like I showed you before. Reach to the sky. Or hold on to the ground. And then take the arms forward and back. Maybe bend in the back knee. reach to the sky. Whoop. First time I've tried that, so not too bad. Ooh. And then release and fold it down and rest. Lift it up and then sweep in the back leg around to the front. Give the leg a little shake out, nice deep breath in. Well, that wasn't bad, that was the first time I've ever tried that. It's always a first time for everything, and you always can surprise yourself. So let's just rock the bum cheeks back there. Lengthen through the spine. Nice deep inhale, exhale, hinge and fold. Bringing it in as close as you can. And then let's release and make our way back up. So cross the legs, come into tabletop. Maybe take some cat-cows in between if you feel you need to. Onto the toes, inhale, chin up, tailbone up. Lift it, sink it back. Pedal maybe, gentle sway. Nourishing breath. And then either walk the feet to the hands or rock it. And bunny hop to the front of the mat, folding it in. And release, bending the knees, sweep it up to the sky. And exhale, pray. Well done. So just tuning in once again to the breath, taking a moment of stillness. Just appreciating that peace and exhilaration to that exertion that we've put ourselves through just there, and prepare for the other side. Arms in mountain pose. Inhale to the sky. Prayer. Hinge and fold. Inhale, halfway flat back. And bend the knees, hands down. Step it back to plank. Lower down to chaturanga or jump straight down into chaturanga, half plank. Up dog. And down dog. Push the ground away, lining the arms with the back. Hips to the sky, left leg up to the sky. Point the foot. Nice and strong, straight and tense. Flex the foot. Point. Bend the knee. Push into the ground. Pull the hip back. Circle the foot one way, then the other. And back again. Breathing all the way, straighten the legs, square the hips, ball of the right foot, left knee through to nose, weight forward. You can come up onto the fingertips to give you more room to get through. And into a lunge, find your balance. Feet on separate tracks, bending into that front knee. Separate breaths, inhale, exhale. Inhale, open. Exhale, up. Inhale, straighten, push the heel down. Exhale, lunge. Inhale, open. Exhale, inhale, or in your own rhythm. as many or as few times as you want to. Inhale, open, and exhale, sitting it back, lengthen, exhale, fold it in, a little closer, and a little closer. So as before, you can lift it up, hold it, sweep it down and back and forth. And then so either continue doing that, maybe slightly shifting the knee back. A little further. Just gradually until you feel you're ready to take it. Also, it's just as wide and as far as you can make it. Just finding where's right for you. Have a little wiggle around. Reach up to the sky. And then turn arms the same as the legs. Just hold and breathe. And let's see how I do on this side. Hand in the knee. You holding it for a little. Just feeling your way into things. A little further maybe. Reach it up. Ooh. Deepen the breath, wherever you are. It's not happening quite on this side. Let's have a little reposition. Further breaths. Just taking moments of stillness to compose ourselves. Try again. Don't know what's going to happen on that side. Just remember though, it's always all steps and stages. Nope, nearly not happening though today. So let's just gently lower it down, stretching it out. And release. So well done. Maybe you've made it, maybe you didn't. But where I remember, whatever step or stage you are at is perfect. Let's just lean forward, rock the bum cheeks out the way. Inhale up to the sky. Bent knees. Exhale. Lengthen, hinge and fold. Pulling it in. Close to as you can. Chest to thighs. Letting the head fall towards the shins. And bring up and gently roll it back into Shavasana. Maybe you prefer to have a little twist here before we take Shavasana. Either just let the knees sweep from side to side, or you may prefer to shift the hips, bring the knees in and take a deeper stretch. Aiming to keep the shoulder blades to the ground. Bent knees and straighten the leg to deepen the stretch and the twist. Just relax and breathe. And then release back to center. Shift the hips back to the opposite side. Inhale, exhale, knees to chest and let them fall to the opposite side. Trying to keep the shoulders close to the ground. Pulling the knees down to the ground, deepening that twist. Head the opposite way. And maybe straighten out the top leg to deepen the stretch and the twist. And then release. Back to center. Realign the spines. Legs down, feet flop out, arms down by the sides. Lift up the chest, tuck the shoulder blades flat, closing the eyes, nice deep inhale, filling up the lungs, hold for a second or two, and a big sigh out. Just surrender, let go. Just let the physical body, the weight of that melt away, feel the lightness of the subtle energy body flowing freely, looking into the center of the forehead, into that empty space. Just float into this empty space, into that nothingness. Imagine you were in space, and your body was weightless, just floating freely. When the thoughts pop in, acknowledge them and just breathe them out. Gently come back to the breath. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose, notice the rise and fall of the chest. And then, as we know, Shavasana is the most important part of the practice, so please do lie here for longer, and or if you are needing to get off, just come and sit cross-legged or switch the video off if you want to stay in Shavasana. Just finding a cross-legged position with a nice straight spine. Bring the palms to prayer at the heart center. Taking some nice last deep conscious breaths, always remembering that our breath is always accessible for us to reclaim and reconnect with our natural state of being, of peace and calm and love and joy, which resides within us always. And as always, before we go, taking a moment of gratitude, just to give ourselves a thank you for the time we've taken for ourselves in our practice, our bodies for what they've achieved, remembering that yoga is a journey of self-realization with self-acceptance, so wherever we are is perfect. Yoga always meets us where we are. Namaste. And have a lovely day. Thank you for joining me. Very well done.